Welcome to the Working Hour with Mike and Shane. I'm Mike, and across from the table is my co-host and best friend, Shane. Go ahead and say hi, buddy.
Hey, he decided to let me out. He let me out.
What was that? What was that from? That scene?
Ghost Rider 2.
Okay, yeah. See, I hadn't seen that. I was wondering if it was from Face Off.
Remember a girl that I from high school? We were in gym class, and she was like, "I saw Ghost Rider 2 over the weekend. That's my favorite movie. That should be no one's favorite
Yeah,
movie." Anyway,
she must not have seen very many movies. We here at the Working Hour are fans of the
Nick
Cage Man,
Cage.
Nick Cage. Yeah, I mean, you love him or hate him, but
Yeah.
we pretty much tend to love him. On this week's episode, as you guys know, we will be talking about the Black Keys album, El Camino. But first, if you're new here, we're going to give you a rundown on what we're going to do. We're going to go track by track, give you an overall thoughts on said track with an overall rating of 1 through 5. We will also be covering a bonus track this week, which we do every week, and we'll conclude this episode with next week's album and the bonus track. Go ahead and tell us what the bonus track is for this week, Shane.
So this week's bonus track is going to be the song "Eternally Hateful" by Kieran J. Callanan. So see what Mike thinks of that. I like it. I think it's catchy, but
It was all right.
okay,
It was fine.
respect.
I'm curious to see if I feel like I'm going to be lower than you on it,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be too low on it.
I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I
no,
think it's
it is.
it's different.
It's enjoyable.
It's very different than just the album, I think.
Yeah, which is nice. That's kind of the beauty here at the Working Hour with the bonus track is we're able to do that. I don't think we really have anything else to say. I think we can go ahead and start the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're talking about El Camino, which is the seventh studio album by the American rock duo, the Black Keys, released December 6th, 2011. Um, This album was co-produced by Danger Mouse. I don't know if you saw that
I did see
anywhere, but
that.
that was kind of neat because we talked about Beck and Modern Guilt. That was a previous episode. Um, I was last week's years old when I found out that the Black Keys is just a duo. I didn't know it was just two guys. I did not know that. I'm assuming you knew that.
I did.
That way you looked at me, it's like, yeah, I've never looked at any of their live footage. I'm assuming they would have like
Well,
more than just them.
when I say I did, I mean I did whenever I started doing my research on this
Okay,
album.
so you
So
didn't
I
know.
didn't know
Okay,
prior
that's
to that.
good.
No.
That's good. That makes me feel a little better about where I was coming from. Um, So we have Dan Auerbach and Patrick Carney. I knew they were from Ohio. I believe they're from Akron,
Uh-huh.
um, but that I didn't know it was just those two. So that was actually really cool to learn that. The lead single, "Lonely Boy," which is track one, became the group's highest-charting single in several countries, including the United States, Australia, and Canada. The album was acclaimed by critics and ranked at many publications' year-end list as best albums of the year, which it was pretty good, and it came out pretty late, right there in December, so it just kind of slid in there in 2011. There was four singles: uh, "Lonely Boy," which I was just talking about. We have "Gold on the Ceiling," "Dead and Gone," "Little Black Submarines" was the final. I think there could have been a couple more singles on here, and even like looking at the singles, "Dead and Gone" and "Gold on the Ceiling" are like the two weaker of the singles for me. I mean, they're both good. Like every
Hmm.
track on this album is good. Um, but there was a couple others like "Stop Stop" and "Hell of a Season" I really like, but I also saw on Reddit people kind of bashing them a little bit. But we'll get into that when the time comes. A little funny thing about the album art is it is not an El Camino on the
No.
cover. It is a Plymouth Grand Voyager, similar to the one that the band started touring in. I have a little quote here. Um, I told my brother, if we named the record El Camino, everybody's gonna think of the car El Camino, and I was like, yeah, exactly, that's the fucking point. And he was like, okay, but why don't you just put a car on the cover that's not an El Camino? And I said, okay, what kind of car? And he says, just put the first car you guys ever toured in. So that is what the band toured in. And I'm
Nice.
assuming that is coming from Dan and his brother talking. Um, El Camino received acclaim from music critics. According to a review, Metacritic, the album received an overall review of 84 out of 100 based on 37 reviews, which I think is pretty good because Metacritic, I feel like, is usually one of the lower rating ones from
Hmm.
the stuff we've done that I remember. We don't always cite them, but they're a nice little gauge stick. The Los Angeles Times assigned the album a maximum four-star rating, calling it butt shaking music and, quote, an album with lyrics that are both unpretentious and undumb. Uh, so yeah, overall it was good. That's all I really have for an intro to the album. Do you have anything to add to?
I mean, you basically like hit all the stuff that I had listed. The only thing like I will like kind of double down on is yeah, similar to Modern Guild, this album was also produced by Danger Mouse, and in parts I can tell, and
Yeah,
in parts I can really like I do get
you
serious
can see the
vibes of
style.
like Modern Guild for
Yeah.
sure. But that's all I got. So
All right. That being said, guys, let's keep it rolling. Let's go to track one, Lonely Boy, the lead single, with a runtime of 3 minutes, 15 seconds. So this starts out with like a very like beachy sounding guitar, I thought, with that opening riff. It's also like a little bluesy. The song is pretty energetic from the start. It's pretty easy to understand why this is a breakout single. It's very catchy. It's kind of impossible not to start like getting into it with just the overall vibe of the song and the tight sounding guitar. The music video, I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch the music
mm-mm,
video? Did
I have
you
not.
were you on Spotify and you saw
Or
like
it's
the
just the
black dude
guy
dancing?
like bro every
That
song.
is Lonely Boy. That is the
Okay,
whole music video is him coming out in front of the van and dancing. And it's like I meant
respect.
to look up that dude because I'm like I don't know. There's like a vibe to that music video.
I hope he get royalties from that or
He,
something.
he should,
You
but
know.
I remember watching it back in the day and like I don't know. There's just something about this dude just dancing in front of this van that it works.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just the opening. So you pull my heart out, and I don't mind bleeding. Any old time, you keep me waiting, waiting,
Waiting.
waiting. I just the vocal delivery is really good there. Um, Also, just the I gotta love that keeps me waiting. Oh, 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 and just the vocal step work there. That's very nice. It's a song with great vibe to it, great energetic vibe. I think it would be open. It would be great to open a show with this, but I almost think it's like letting everything out of the gate too soon. But then again, I don't because I like the song. It's excellent. There is a couple other tracks on the song on the album that I'm actually a little higher than Lonely Boy because I feel like most people associate this album with Lonely Boy.
Mm-hmm.
This song was played a fancy like little thing. We don't really get too fancy with the music talk, but this song is played in just the key of E minor with only three chords used throughout the song,
Oh,
which is pretty cool. Which
okay.
I mean, you can see it from that intro.
Yeah.
It's very just but yeah, this track is a high energy and a short runtime with just 3 minutes 15 seconds. I liked it. I gave it a 3.9.
Okay. So the album comes up swinging with what is to this day the band's biggest hit. The guitar hums as it comes in before becoming distorted, followed by the drums and keyboard hitting around 17 seconds in. We get a little musical refrain before the vocals and bass guitar hit at 38 seconds. Well, I'm so above you, and it's plain to see. Um, but I came to love you anyway. I like the delivery of anyway, the way that it's dragged out, and it's delivered in such a way that it almost kind of rhymes with see. It's plain to see, love you anyway. Like, maybe it's just me, but that's what I heard. This is also the first point in the song I noticed these sort of high pitched, distorted guitar notes. The verse ends with waiting, waiting, and this leads us just seamlessly into the chorus. Those feminine backing vocals that maintain the rebellious, upbeat tone the song and the vocals had already established. Oh, 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 I got a love that keeps me waiting. Oh, 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 I got a love that keeps me waiting. I'm a lonely boy. I'm a lonely boy. Um, the guitar picks up coming off of the chorus, becoming much more pronounced. Coming off the second chorus at 2:23, the guitar becomes low and distorted before the drums come in, and the guitar changes before the final chorus. We get one last like scratch of the guitar to close the song, coming off of the chorus. This song is a certified indie rock classic and a total staple of the early 2010s. I couldn't tell you how many times I heard this song, like, on the radio, like in a friend's car or just in media. The song was kind of everywhere for like a little while.
Hmm.
I gave this a 4.1 out of 5.
That's well deserved.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, no, I feel like I was a little low with the 3.9.
On to track number 2, we have Dead and Gone, another single. Simple drum beat and buzzing bass opens the song. Some additional guitar, keyboards, vocals follow, bouncing back and forth between more feminine backing vocals and the regular vocals from Lonely Boy that we would expect. The na na whoa oh oh na na whoa oh oh, like that goes for a little bit. The vocals come in proper at 46 seconds. So long, why you waited so long? After every single word I said, I'm feeling dead and gone. The vocal delivery and the way like they drag out, like really emphasize like the blues sound on this. They have like a real depth to the vocals on this. The driving instrument of the song really alternates back and forth between the drums picking up the tempo and the bass like carrying instrumentally when like the rest of the instruments kind of pull back. I also noticed on this track that the lyrics from the first two songs are both like a little repetitive, but they're not grating at all. You know what I mean? Like
There's a lot of repetitive vocals throughout the album.
yeah,
But it's like you said, most. I mean, I didn't find any that were like, ugh.
it's delivered in a way that it's like you don't get tired
Yeah.
of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like I don't know, I feel like I may not have noticed so much if I like wasn't actually like looking at the lyrics. You know
Yeah.
what I
No,
mean?
it's very palatable.
The music and the vocals keep you engaged and are catchy, as so much so that you don't really mind the repetitive aspects of the song. I'll go anywhere you go. Oh, oh, oh. I'll go anywhere you go. Oh, oh, oh. There's some electric guitar that clangs out between the vocals, starting and stopping, that have like a sound that's like similar to the Arctic Monkeys, with like a sort of like surf rock sound to them. Clapping gets implemented in the chorus to the beat of the drums. One line off the second verse I really like is, "Don't call me, I'll call you." Like with what you say, I'll obey. Coming off of the second chorus, we get well. Before I get to that, I don't know. I just like that. I like the kind of bravado of like, no, you don't call me, I'll call you. All
Yeah.
right. I don't know. Just like it. Coming off the second chorus, we get the na na whoa oh, oh from earlier to close out the song. First two tracks off of this album, like both singles, I do like the first track more than this, but this is still a solid song. I do agree with what you were saying earlier on that like Dead and Gone and Gold on the Ceiling are both like a bit of a step down between the other two, but I give this a 3.6 out of 5.
Okay, we're pretty close on this one. We opposites. I actually went a little higher on this. We pretty much mirrored each other on vocals. The intro, the na 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 na. It's very it's nice. Um, it's just great generally, musically, lyrically, whatever. Vocally, I guess would be the better word. It's all very like simple, but it sounds really good. Similar to like a lot of the songs on this album. I was gonna say track one, but really the whole album. It's not super complex, but I don't want to. It's still good. Like you definitely get your money's worth. Um, I think you're kind of reeled in early on this one with the simple drum beat, synthy sounding bass with a nice guitar riff. It's a little less chaotic, but at points, especially where you get the "I'll go anywhere you go," you can just hear like the drums are just getting beaten so hard. It really adds like a chaotic feel to it, even though I said it's a little less chaotic, but it definitely peaks at times. Um, it's not the same as like the high energy of Lonely Boy that was like pretty much high all the way through, but this one's good. It kind of builds a little bit. Um, so it really flows with the bass line and percussion, like I said, around 1 minute 14 seconds with the "I'll go anywhere you go." We both picked those lyrics. I mean, it's a little bit opposite than the intro track, but it's still a great like vocal showcase from the duo and just like overall music. It's simple, but it sounds really good. I gave it a 3.7, so just a little higher than you on this one.
Okay.
And that will move us to track three, "Gold on the Ceiling," 3 minutes 44 seconds. So this track was also released as a single. Have you ever heard of Rolling Acres Mall
Uh-uh.
in Akron? I'm pretty sure it was in Akron.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of YouTube stuff about it just because it's an abandoned place. The
Maybe.
single cover for the album, for this song, "Gold on the Ceiling," was a picture of Rolling Acres Mall, like
Okay.
falling apart after it was abandoned. I thought for sure you had heard of Rolling Acres.
No, like, I mean, dude, I may have. I don't know. That's Oh,
I mean, I fuck with looking at the abandoned stuff on YouTube.
sure,
So,
sure.
um,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Will Herms, our guy at the Rolling Stone, called the song's keyboards a serrated organ growl, backed up with a SWAT team of hand claps, and cited it as an example of Danger Mouse's prowess as a producer and co-writer. So I like that. I thought you would get a little kick out of that because
Oh
he
yeah.
mentions Danger Mouse in there, and that's just a serrated organ growl backed up with a SWAT team of hand claps. It's a nice guitar intro that flows into a full music sound with some synth sounds. Vocals are excellent, but a little different sounding than the first, the previous tracks. Um, it seems like there's a little bit of a combination of like a vocal effect and just a little bit different music. And there's also like a brassy sound. I believe it's just synth, but it adds like a third element. Um, I like the opening verse. It really kind of sets the tone of the track. Down in the waves, she screams again. Roar at the door. My mind can't take much more. I really enjoyed it. I thought it kind of comes out rolling fast right out of the gate. This track, which you were talking about, Lonely Boy being used everywhere. This track has been used widely in sports broadcasting, and I wasn't even going to bring this up, but I was going to originally bring it up as like I remember watching like NBA. I thought it was NBA. It was just basketball back in the day, and it going to commercial and this song playing, and I was
Mm.
on like Buffalo Wild Wings or something, and I was like, yeah, nice. Like I remember that song, and I was like, oh man, this actually fits really good. Well, anyways, 2012 NCAA Men's Division basketball tournament. They had a series called Brackets Everywhere, and that was used during that. It was also used the theme song for NASCAR Race Day on Speed on Fox Sports 1, 2012 to 2013. Also, this track was used during the 2012 Summer Olympics.
Oh,
That's
nice.
actually pretty cool.
Okay.
Um, on NBC Sports. It was also the goal song for the Vancouver Canucks and the Nashville Predators, and also the UMass Minuteman ice hockey team. So really used on the hockey. So I like that. Overall, I vibe with it. I don't have a whole lot of notes for it. I kind of filled it in with the sports stuff it was used in, but I do like it. It's very catchy. They want to get my gold on
On
the
the ceiling.
ceiling. It's catchy. It is a single, and I'm not crazy about it. I gave it a 3.5. I think it's a little enjoyable compared to the first couple tracks, but 3.5.
Okay.
Still not a bad track. Like it's. I feel like I'm underselling it with 3.5 because it's not that bad, but compared to what it's surrounded by,
Yeah. I adjusted my score because like
what were you originally?
4 out of 5.
Really?
But like it's a
I
little
mean, I ain't mad
high.
at you.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, because there's other stuff on this album that I do put higher than this. So
Yeah, I had a hard
yeah,
time going through my scores because I have a lot of like scores in the high threes, and I was like, well, this song's a 3.8, and this one I'm gonna give it a 3.7, but it's actually like a little better than the 3.8. It was hard.
I hear you. So yeah, I got the song opens up with like single electric guitar before the drums and additional guitars hit at 7 seconds, followed up by more guitar with a very electronic distortion sound to it. It's around this point that the song also incorporates the drums transitioning to drumming and clapping. The vocals sound effects heavy on the verse. At points, almost reminding me of Beck, the way that they like fade out, paired up with the backing vocals. They wanna get my gold on the ceiling. I ain't blind, it's just a matter of time for you steal it. It's alright, ain't no God in my high. This song apparently went platinum in Australia and Canada and is tied with Fever as their highest charting song in the UK.
You ever heard of Fever?
I have not.
It's not bad.
Okay. Song is very catchy, and I can absolutely pick up on it being produced by Danger Mouse. Having moments that remind me of Modern Guilt for sure, while also reminding me of or of AM. After our review of that, I'm like, I can see the parallels for
That's
sure.
why I chose this album. I should have mentioned that in the intro, but yeah, I had so many references to the Black Keys and the Arctic Monkey album.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The instrumentation uses keyboard, which isn't surprising, but also uses a fuzzy Farifa style organ coming
Whatever the
off.
hell that means.
Yeah, coming off the chorus, we get some solid guitar shredding with the drumming and clapping combo. It also reminds me a little bit of "Get It On" by T Rex.
Okay.
Just a little
Get
bit.
it up, bring
Bang
it
a gun,
on,
get it on. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Also, T Rex was like that was in Long Legs. Yeah.
We need to take a break after this and talk about something.
Okay. Let me wrap this up. Let me wrap up this song. This is another certified classic of theirs that I'm sure most people have heard because, much like Lonely Boy, this was fucking everywhere. I definitely rate this closer to Lonely Boy too. I gave this a 3.8 out of 5.
I can live with that.
So, with that being said, we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with track number 4, Little Black Submarines. It's a single coming in at 4 minutes and 11 seconds. That's what I have. Um, this is the first song off the album to come in and totally like change up the tone right away. This is a lot less upbeat and less fun indie rock. The song opens quiet with just some acoustic guitar and vocals, very bluesy. Little Black Submarines, operator please, put me back on the line. Told my girl I'd be back, operator please. This is wrecking my mind. After this verse, we get our first chorus that still remains more reserved and subtle. It in its sound and presentation. The second verse starts up, and we get some light drumming, tambourine, and organ. Second chorus comes to an end, and the song quiets at 2:04 before the heavy electric guitar, bass, drums come in full force, completely changing up the song. Now much more heavy with its rock. Now the chorus is delivered faster with some backing vocals as well. Uh, oh, can it be voices calling me? They get lost and out of time. Should have seen it glow, but everybody knows that a broken heart is blind. The last 45 seconds or so is full instrumental with a nice back and forth between electric guitar and drums. This is my favorite song off the album. I really like how it takes its time to build up. Both halves of the song work in their own way. The heavy doesn't come off as a betrayal of the softer opening. I give this a 4.3 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I messed up my notes here. I was like, I give this a 3.0, and it's like, that is not right.
Nope.
That is not right. Just the worst song on my notes. So yeah, this was a single. The track saw several alterations. The band recorded it, quote, 4 or 5 different ways before playing it in a sparse acoustic arrangement. The group had allowed a version of the song, but since they felt it wasn't completely working, this is all according to drummer Patrick Carney. The harder rocking second half was the first time that the band played the arrangement, he said, like that way. Uh, the whole ending is the first take we played, just figuring out what we were doing and riffing on that idea. That's why this part of the album feels the loosest. It's just how Dan and I play. It's live in the studio, just guitar and drums with the instruments bleeding into each other. I really like this track because it really pops off. But from the start, it's very acoustic, soft on the intro, like you said, a little bluesy. It's different. Vocals are really clear. Little black submarines, operator, please put me back on the line. It's nice. Vocals are delivered like completely different. I thought like just the way they're delivered quickly and quietly, kind of like that. Track also adds a tambourine, which I noticed it here more than I did in any other tracks, if it was even in any of the other tracks. Around that 2 minute 6 second mark, the track erupts. Guitar pierces through hard. Music just there's just a gigantic music breakdown, and it really changes into that jam session that I was talking about earlier. In a 2011 end of year ranking, Rolling Stone selected Little Black Submarines as the 18th best song of the year. and I can definitely see why. I think it's really good. I give this just a 4.0. I think it kind of it's a good track, and I mean it could go from like a 4.2 to a 4.3 for me easily. Um, and I really do like Little Black Submarines. It's in probably my top five for sure off the album. And there's a lot of good tracks on this album, but I'm gonna stick with that just 4.0. That will take us to track number five, Moneymaker. There's kind of like a slow. It's not really a count in, but it's just a slow fade into the track before it explodes. For what it's worth, I kind of like the placement of this track coming off of Little Black Submarines. Um, it's a little bit more of a lower energy to start, but it builds percussion and it really does start to thump. Um, I don't think this is good as Little Black Submarines. Um, for me, it's similar to Gold on the Ceiling, as it doesn't really entrance me with the lyrical content. It's like really the only downfall. There just wasn't a lot for me to dig my teeth into. The opening verse is catchy, don't get me wrong. Oh, she wants milk and honey. Oh, she wants filthy money. Musically, it's solid. Like that's definitely the high point of it. The bass rips, and it's a catchy track. Um, it's under 3 minutes, so like even if I was sour with it, like it's a minor speed bump at worst. Really gives a nice showcase of more bluesy sounding track. I thought there's a lot of evidence on blues on this track, but I thought this was one that kind of showed it. Um, it's a nice jam. Uh, it doesn't offer a lot of substance to me, like I was saying. The music is definitely the high takeaway for me. This is one of my lower rating scores, actually. I gave this a 3.4, which is kind of low, but still, it's a fine song. I think just coming off of Little Black Submarines that I do like a lot, it just kind of dropped off. For me, Moneymaker, it's a fine track, but it is a little lower than everything else to this point.
Sure. There's some beef background noise on what sounds like a guitar for the first like 2 seconds before the drums and guitar really hit. Well, this is certainly not my favorite song off this album. I had a good time listening to this. The instrumental layering on the song is quite impressive. Multiple different guitars, bass guitar, drums. When it comes to some of the effects on the vocals, it reminds me a lot of Beck. It makes me want to go and listen to more of the albums that were produced by Danger Mouse. Oh, she wants milk and honey. Oh, she wants filthy money. But oh, that's not the way it goes. I want to buy some time, but I don't have a dime. Coming off the second chorus, the drums get punchy, rapidly building and crashing with the guitar, leading us to some wilder instrumentation at 208. That sounds almost like it's weird. It's like it almost sounds like harmonica, organ, and guitar. It's really hard to put my finger on what it is, but it's pretty funky, and it mixes up the song before we hit the final chorus. Hey, my, she's a money maker. Hey, my, she's gonna take ya way down, down. She's bound to break ya. Hey, now she's a money maker. The song sonically sounds a bit like it reminds me a little bit of Gold on the Ceiling. I will say I would like them to mix it up a little bit more with their sound. I do feel like some of the tracks have been a little samey up until this point. I really enjoyed Little Black Submarines doing something really different. That being said, I mean, this is still a decent song. I gave it, same as you, a 3.4 out of 5.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Look at us.
So, on to track number 6, we have Run Right Back, coming in at 3 minutes and 17 seconds. It's funny talking about mixing it up a little on the last track. The back and forth guitar opening this track reminded me of Little Black Submarines just a little bit. Additional guitar and drums come in. I really and like some really distinct like bass playing as the vocals come in. One thing I noticed when researching this album was that in the list of singles, I'm pretty sure it was Lonely Boy paired with this song as a single, like Lonely Boy slash Run Right Back. So I don't know. Maybe like this song was like maybe the song was a first single in like another country or somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. But on Wikipedia,
It might have just been released as like the singles together, maybe like two of them, and they just put them together instead of
sure,
doing like one and two.
sure.
Maybe, I don't know.
Before she hits the ground, she's going to want to explore. Go, got to step aside, never run and hide. Another thing that has remained pretty consistent on this album is the buzzing guitar that is prominent pretty much all throughout the song, as well as some softer backing vocals showing up here on the verses and the end of the choruses. I'm going to jump the track. I run right back, I'm sure. I run right back to her. Run right back to her. At 135, the chorus ends and the music like quiets briefly. I legit thought the song was over, just because like I'll have the song like play through a couple of times while I'm just taking my notes on it, and then I was like song over, and I'm like, no, we're only a minute and a half in, plenty of song left. Um, but yeah, I think the delivery of "run right back to her" has a sound of like finality to it, especially at that point of the song, like the delivery of that "run right back to her." At 251, the song goes instrumental between the guitar, bass, and maraca, with some of the backing vocals faintly. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Again, this is a decent song. Maybe just hitting a little bit of a lull for me. Um, just kind of waiting on something to surprise me. I gave this and this might be a little low. I give this a 3.3 out of 5.
Brother.
All right, look at us.
Yeah, Run Right Back. It's a nice piercing guitar on the intro. Like it's. It's nice. The keyboard's nice too. The opening vocals. Before she hits the ground, she's gonna want to explore. It's good. I'm not crazy about this track though. I'm not gonna lie. It's decent. Everything on this album is decent. Um, but it's just kind of like the previous track, a little bit out of its cluster of good tracks, I guess. This is one of the ones that I would put more on the lower end. I did like the verse. Um, She's the worst thing I've been addicted to. I run right back. I run right back to her. The deep vocal delivery and the speed of delivery with the backing vocals is a high point to me. It's another track that's musically better than I think it is lyrically. Just because I didn't really find a lot of substance in this track. That's kind of the reason for the lower score. Um, the vocals like kind of fall into that category with the music, um, but still, it's a track that I enjoy. I mesh with the flow. I'm just not like floating through it, not really enjoying it. This part of the album wasn't really a low point, but um, the album kind of leveled out around Moneymaker, and this was kind of the last track before picking back up with going into track number 7. Um, I gave Run Right Back a 3.4, similar as the previous track, because I mean, it's a fine track, but it's definitely one that is the lower end for me. And that will move us to track number 7, where this kind of picks back up for me. We have Sister at 3 minutes, 25 seconds. This is a track that I really do enjoy. Like I said, it's kind of one of the tracks that gets us back on the road to higher scores. I think this could have been a single. That might be a little bit of a stretch because it isn't 100% great or like set out to be a single. Like it's not manufactured in that way. But it's a nice riff on the intro, and it's really ear catchy. I thought the percussion is really tight, and the track is moving at like a decent, quick enough tempo. I feel like the track changes tone like a few times back and forth, but really not a big instrumental change. It's just kind of utilizing a different sound with what they're currently working with. The verse, I used to say I need you, but now I gotta leave you. Sister, sister, what did they do to you? It's another great vocal showcase, combined with a nice musical number. Like it's paired very well together. Um, there's a lot of utilization and pausing on the first opening verse and throughout the song, kind of just spacing out the vocals, creates a nice dynamic to the song. I've always liked this one. I've never really found a lot of substance in it or really looked much into it, like analyzing it, doing my notes. I didn't really find a whole lot in it, but I've always just kind of enjoyed the track as its own thing. And like I said, I've listened to this album countless times now, and just sensed it on time. I mean, I remember listening to this back in the day, like 2012, 2013, like right after it came out. Because a lot of people were hubbity bubbity about the Black Keys, and I was like, all right, well, they got this album, let me listen to it, and I like really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, like this track, I don't think it's anything super special, but it's kind of a nice little lift up. Like I said, leaving off of the last two tracks that I gave 3.4s to, I gave this a 3.6, which isn't much higher, but a 3.6 is pretty decent rating for me.
Okay. So I have like single guitar starts up, followed up with a simple drum beat and bass guitar. Wake up, gonna wake up to nothing. Break up is coming. The vocals going a bit softer with a little bit of a higher pitch at this point. When your heart is hollow, another pill to swallow. We get a little bit more clapping alongside the drum again on the verses. The chorus comes along with more of a like buzzing, distorted guitar and layered vocals. Sister, sister, what did they do to you? Sister, sister, what did they do to you? Did they take? They tried to break very hard, very long. It's so wrong. At 140, we get an instrumental breakthrough or break instrumental breakthrough until the 2 minute mark. With more of the distorted guitar you'd come to expect. We also get some very distinct keyboard that rings and fades out. I don't really have too much else to add to this song. It is a step up. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. So
We're still in the same neighborhood.
yeah.
I'm right down the street.
Track number 8, we have Hell of a Season coming in at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. It okay, so like musically, like for the first couple of seconds, it kind of reminds me of something off of Juno. I can't place my I don't like can you kind of hear it a little bit?
I have to listen to Juno, but
I don't know. I'll show you. We're gonna forget, but I would show you afterwards. If you remember, track number 8, I'll find it on Juno. I'll show you. But yeah. Write that down. Write that down. Make notes of that somewhere. Anyway, song opens up with rapid light cymbal tapping, with a little bit of guitar before some very heavy in-your-face drums come in around the 7 second mark. Some additional guitar and drums come in as well, but the drums are the real standout at this point. The vocals come in. My mind immediately went to the opening lyrics of Lonely Boy.
yeah.
Even though that's Hell of a Season. Well, I'm so like from Lonely Boy, like just the delivery and the rhyming of it. It was hard not to notice. The drumming gets punchy in the chorus with some gets punchy on the chorus with some steady thumping and some moments of standout from the bass and keyboard. Also notice some faint backing vocals. In this hell of a season, give me more than a reason to be with you. Be with you. So say you'll be better. I'll keep waiting forever. You know I do. No, I do. Oh. Coming off the second chorus, we get a brief instrumental breakdown before the chorus comes back with some deep synth beats, kind of taking over the vocals, followed up with another instrumental break, leading us to the outro chorus, being much more emotive and dire in its vocal delivery. I gave this a 3.6 out of 5.
On Hell of a Season?
Uh huh.
Damn, okay, I have a lot of notes for this. So Hell of a Season is kind of been my go-to track off the album for a long time. Now, saying that, I don't think after analyzing it and listening to this more like cover to cover, I wouldn't say it's my favorite off the album. But like I said, for a decent amount of time, this was kind of my go-to. This track for me is same as like Sister, in the aspect that I've always liked the sound of it, just never really analyzed it. For me, it's just one of the best jam sessions best jam sounding songs besides Little Black Submarines. And vocally, it flows really good. The use of backing vocals really makes everything sound a little heavier and just deeper toned. The song has an excellent hard pounding drumming sound that I really think overshines the guitar work at times, and I think that is like really this is really the first track where I really noticed that. The sound breakdown around 2 minutes 10 seconds is nice, where everything kind of slows down before amping up around 2 minutes 45 seconds. Lyrically, I could pick a lot of verses because they're all delivered in a way that I really appreciate them. The opening verse, even though you don't know, you're reacting all along. What I see is killing me. You won't make it on your own. Just such a deep, powerful voice chorus on that. In this hell of a season, give me more of a reason to be with you. Be with you. Yeah. Then it flows into say you'll be better. I keep waiting forever. You know I do. No, I do. And then we kind of quietly go into even though I don't know, I'm pretending that I do. It's my curse. I can't reverse. I'm still waiting here for you. Overall, I'm a little high on this one, but like I said, this is one that I've always kind of like hung my hat on. So I think I'm a little biased on it. I gave this a 4.2. And that will move us to track number 9. The back half of this album is bangers for me. We got track number 9, Stop Stop, coming in right at 3.5 minutes. It's another track for me, like I said. I really enjoy it. The opening verse that flows into the chorus. Uh, You're wound up like a weapon. You've got an evil streak. They told me to stay away, but I was much too weak. Yeah, you gotta stop, stop. Can you hear me call? It's very nice. It's iconic. It's a nice guitar solo around 1 minute 53 seconds, and I'm glad they just didn't do an instrumental to like finish out the track because I feel like me and you both have kind of griped on it. I usually definitely pick it out. I think you do most times too, not always. But I hate when a band will like just write an instrumental out when it's like, man, I wish you'd give me like one more verse. And they didn't do that here. They came back in with you tear me all apart, then act so warm, like being cooled in the rain, or like being cooled by the rain in the eye of the storm. I really like that. And then it just flows into that. Yeah, you got to stop, stop, stop. Can't you hear me call? The percussion on this track is nice. It's not super aggressive as the previous tracks, and it's just like a nice drumline sound to it. The guitar didn't do a whole lot to blow me out of the water on this track, but it's still solidly done. It's another high score for me. I gave this a 4.0 out of 5. I'm very high on the last few backing tracks.
I gotcha.
It kind of goes down from here. Nova Baby and Mind Eraser.
I like Stop Stop. Stop Stop's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the song opens with the 1, 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Beat to the drums. Played twice with a mix of drums and guitar. It's a funky and like kind of playful way to open the song. Additional guitar, bass, keys, synth, and tambourine come in as the clapping starts to get incorporated. It takes like a 31 seconds before the vocals hit. You're wound up like a weapon. You got an evil streak. They told me stay away, but I'm much too weak. On the chorus, you can hear these little chimes that I'm pretty sure are from some keys syncing up with the vocals. On the second verse, I like the line, "This love was so strong, it shoulda." The music pulls back, "Been against the law." Leads us right into the chorus. Yeah, you gotta stop, stop, can't you hear me call? And singing, stop, stop it, girl. 147 through until 225, we get a musical breakdown with a distorted electric guitar solo. The final chorus, the final chorus, the music gets a little more quiet as we get like plenty of backing vocals and chimes from earlier making their return. It's a fun track. It made my like songs from the very first listen through, actually. Like I listened through it
Was
once.
this the only one that made it to your like songs, or?
Oh, no. I mean, other songs made
Okay,
it.
I was just curious. Yeah.
But like upon my first listen,
it
like
popped in there right away.
yeah, I was like, get that.
Yeah,
Don't
get
sleep
that
on
in
that.
there. Get that in there.
I give
Put
this
that in the bag.
Give this a paper bag, trash bag, duffel bag. You don't care what kind of bag.
Long live the bag man.
You know? I give this a 3.7 out of 5.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. On to track number 10, we have Nova Baby. So, song opens with drums, bass, and multiple guitars right out the gate before changing its sound about 18 seconds in. The drumming kind of building up to the vocals. You walk around in other towns. I've seen you out just hanging around. Um, it's what you chose, and I suppose you'll need me one day. One day. Or no, you'll need me one day. Need me one day. Once we get to the chorus, the music changes back up to the sound from the beginning. A lighter guitar. We get more of the backing vocals as well. All your enemies smile when you fall. You take 'cause don't know what you want. Don't know what you want. Second verse comes in, and we get a little bit more of the faint organ in the background. At 2:43, through until the end of the song is full instrumental with some standout moments for both the organ and the guitar. I feel like I'm kind of harsh on this song. I kind of wanna walk it back.
Up it up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel because I'm listening to it right now.
What'd you give it to? What'd you give it originally?
What do you think?
3.3. Lower?
I gave it a 3.2. Yeah. I don't know. I think I was getting just a little tired. Like I want a little bit.
It is a lot of the same
little,
thing.
I want a little variety. That's all.
You're in the retention pond, yeah.
But like, it sounds good. I'm listening to it right now, and I like it.
Yeah, no, it is. The whole album's good. It's a vibe all through and through.
I think I kind of wish that it maintained like the sound that it has like at the opening of the song. But I mean, I get it. Like, don't overdo that. If you like, do a little bit and then bring it back for like the chorus, like musically, that's probably like the smarter decision to make. So I gave it like a 3.2, but I could give it like a 3.3 or a 3.4. So that's where I'm at.
All right. So yeah, it's pretty much moving right as the song gets out of the gate. I like the guitar on this. It's kind of jabby on the intro. Vocals start around the 30-second mark. You walk around in other towns. I've seen you out just hanging around. I've never really paid a lot of attention to this track on previous listens. Like I said, I've been a fan of this album for a long time. And this one's never really stood out to me by the name, but upon like doing these notes, it's really grown on me. It's definitely it could be something to do with riding on the hype of the last two tracks. As I said, I kind of rated them pretty high. But parts of Nova Baby are just really vocally catchy. All your enemies smile when you fall. You take it because you don't know what you want. You don't know what you want. I never really analyzed the lyrics. Like I said, this track was kind of always overlooked. But that you don't know what you want line really stuck to me for some reason. And I liked it a lot. I felt like it held a lot of water. I didn't really know what the direction of it meant. I didn't really take it in any certain kind of way, but I just really kind of enjoyed the song more. The percussion is a little amplified right there with the vocals. It almost gives like an angry feel to it, maybe like a destructive vibe. The song, like I said, improved way more the more I listened to it. The verse to close, the empty heart you left me with, the ribbon on my parting gift. I'm falling hard for every yard of the dream you sold me. Dream you sold me. I really like that too. I'm falling hard for every yard of the dream you sold me. It's really nice. I enjoyed the writing on this one too, and like I said, it definitely popped up. This is the most improved song compared to any of the other tracks on the album. I gave this a pretty decent score. Like I said, I'm a fan of the back half of the album. I gave this a 3.8. And that will move us to the final track of the album, El Camino. We have Mind Eraser, track 11, with a runtime of 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Sorry, I'm having a little technical difficulties trying to get my song to play. I like the snazzy guitar intro with a spiking keyboard. It's really catchy, and it's a great sound. It comes out swinging. It changes its tune towards the end, but like I said, it comes out swinging. The vocals really excellent too. The opening verse, "When I need to replace her, I am the mind eraser. Anything goes." Yeah, anything goes. I'm not gonna lie, honestly, Mind Eraser is one that kind of has always stuck out to me by just the name of it. When I thumb through the album in like past years, I'll pick up Mind Eraser, and I think I listened to it last week on my way home, and I had "When I need to replace her, I am the mind eraser. Anything goes." I just kept singing that like a couple days. Not gonna
Okay.
lie, like just with anything.
I could see that being like some like Aerosmith lyrics, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
off of like "Get Your Wings."
Yeah.
Similar enough.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
there's
say I was
there's
gonna
that
say
one song, "Lord of the Thighs," where it's like I
yeah,
could see that.
exactly. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See?
But yeah, I was really also a
Lord
fan.
of the sorry.
I was a fan of the vocal delivery, and I mean it's excellent as we've come to know at this point in the album. It's great, but that "Don't Let It Be Over," oh, it's nice and it's repeated a lot. There's a lot of repetition on this album, as me and Shane have both touched on. But for this being a closer track, I think it worked out pretty good, and I think I'm I think we kind of both are hit or miss with repetition. We either love it or hate it. But this track was very vibey, and it reminded me a little bit of the repetition of "Lonely Boy," where it just kind of kept flowing back into it. But it was good. It wasn't overdone. It was fine. I also kind of like the stutter out following the last delivery of "Don't Let It Be Over, Don't Let It Be Over." I gave this a decent score. I gave this a 3.6. Nothing crazy. I think as a closer track, it was all right. I almost wish "Little Black Submarines" was a closer track, but I also feel like the backside of that was a little too high energy to be the closer. I think it works out fine. I like it. 3.6. That's all I got to say.
Okay. So guitar, keys, bass, drums, open up the song. About 10 seconds in, the drumming breakdown leads us into all of the instruments becoming louder and more prominent. When I need a replacer, I am the mind eraser. Anything goes. Yeah, anything goes. On this opening verse or two, on the opening verse or two, there are a handful of moments that the bass gets a little bit more time to shine. Second verse becomes more impassioned towards the end, and the music picks up to get us into the chorus. Oh, don't let it be over. Over, oh. No, don't let it be over. Let it be over. Oh. I like how the chorus, when it kicks off with the oh in the background vocals, has a buzz to it that I don't know. It almost sounds like an instrument, less so than vocals. Like not doing any justice to it, but like its delivery, maybe some of the effects on it. It sounds like an instrument kind of for a second or two. Coming off the second chorus, the guitar is distorted and does some shredding before the next chorus shortly after. After the final chorus, it sounded like we were going to get another bit of guitar shredding, but I was pretty surprised by how quickly the song just like wound down real quick. I give it a 3.4 out of 5. So, yeah,
Closing thoughts. What do you think?
I liked it. I feel like maybe if I listened to this album more, like back whenever it came out, I might be a little bit more high on it.
That's why I think I'm so high on it. I just
You
had
know?
that bias of
Yeah,
connecting it with that time period in my life.
because there was like it did get a little repetitive for me in spots.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like Boston or who did we just cover?
failure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that album.
yeah,
Same. I mean, it's good if you like it,
sure.
and this was one that I liked more than you. I think just because
Mm-hmm.
listens.
Yeah.
Same thing probably with Failure. You were probably a little. I felt like we were pretty close on Failure,
Mm.
but you were probably a little higher, more on average than me.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Overall, I mean, like I thought this was like really front loaded. With just like their hits, I was like, damn, all four hits, one after the other,
Yeah,
huh?
first four tracks,
So,
singles.
but it was good. I'm happy we listened to it. What about you?
I like it. Like I've said multiple times now, yeah, I mean, I've listened to it for years and years now, so it's kind of etched in my brain. It's always been a pretty much a banger album. Um, so I feel like I'm a little biased, but yeah, it's nice. I surprised I never owned a physical copy of it. But I've listened to the album multiple times across many different platforms through the years. So I should probably actually buy a physical copy. Bonus time, though.
Bonus time.
You want to take off with the bonus?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Take
go
the
ahead and do
lead.
it.
I will close this out.
So, bonus track, we have Eternally Hateful by Kieran J. Callanan. Song opens right away with sounds like an echoed clap almost. The synths come in right away with what sounds like some effects heavy guitar. The song is, yeah.
It's a bullwhip, I think.
Okay. The song is very very high energy with its musical beat, very upbeat. I feel like the vocals only add to this. There's some effects and synth on the song. It sounds very like 60s and 70s, kind of spacey a little bit. Like something you would hear off of like maybe Rush or maybe Styx. Just a little bit.
It's funny because I have two other musical people, and it's completely opposite
Just
than
I
Styx and Rush.
just the effects.
No, I'm
just
yeah, no, I get that. Especially the bullwhip. That's YYZ.
okay. All right.
100%.
All right. All right.
I'm buying that now that you say it.
The clap from the start of the song like returns, but it's a little different. It almost sounds like a piece of like almost like sheet metal being dragged as the sound kind of like carries out a little bit. Sitting in the car, we can only go so far, and it's getting late. My eyes are heavy under acetate, and it's getting late. I'll take you where you want me to. The vocal delivery is kind of hard to nail down. It's a little provocative, a little alluring, a little mysterious. I like on what could be considered the pre-chorus and maybe even the chorus itself. The tempo slows as the synth remains, but more subtle, and the lyrics repeat. You don't know what love means anyway. You don't know what love means anyway. Eternally hateful. Like, I feel like that, like, pop right there is a nice little payoff. Eternally hateful. Like, it's good. Um, the synth buzzing heavy during this section. The song repeats in the background. Sample of whenever he says, what love means, the what, like they sampled that and it repeats. When the pre-chorus and the chorus come back, the distortion and effects are heavy between the synth and the vocals. I like the outro. You're the villain now, and the repeating of now, 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 now. You're a villain now. Like, I don't know. It's on its way out, but it still like maintains that upbeat energy to it. It kind of switches it up a little bit. Also, like whenever he's like, "You left me cold." Song that just has such an upbeat presentation to it. It makes me want to dance. Song winds down, going back and forth from love you, hate you, and ends with a good bit of electric like effects. I think this song is a ton of fun and just has some really, really solid pacing to it that like it just does not let up. Whenever it kind of like pulls back for a sec, it's only so that it can come back harder.
Yeah.
I gave this a 3.8 out of 5.
Okay. So yeah, actually now that I'm listening to it, I'm like, this kind of reminds me of like a male version of Lord at parts. I never really thought of that, but I can see it now at certain parts. It's very energetic. It's got like a dance techno vibe to it a little bit. It's very upbeat, clubby. I thought it sounded a little bit like Bowie or George Michael, a little bit off of Faith.
I could see that.
Sitting in the park, we can only sit so much, and it's getting late. Your fingers taste like an ashtray. Overall, it's not a song I'm like super crazy about, but it's been growing on me the more and more I listen to it. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like it's a song where if I'm hanging out with you, I feel like it would definitely push it up a little bit because it's just a goofy song. Like it's something I didn't really take too serious. Um, it is a pretty good, like I said, upbeat vibing song. I feel like it comes off a little sexy sounding though, like it's got a little bit of tension to it. Um, I also think it's funny you cited the line, "You left me cold." Uh, like a Civic for sale on a suburban road. I found that lyric pretty funny. Like he mentions that in there as we're both Civic drivers.
Mhm.
Actually, you and your wife both. Actually, all four of us, me and Lindsay,
Damn, look at
Civic
us.
drivers.
Fuck. All
We're
right.
about to have to ass to ass all our
Ass
cars.
to ass, boy.
Do a little power washing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's funny. I never actually thought of it like that. But yeah, we actually all do have the same cars. It's followed up with "You don't know what love means anyway." You don't know what love means anyway. Eternally hateful. No, it's catchy. That's what I'm saying. It's definitely a song if you listen with somebody. It's very enjoyable. I feel like this could be in a movie scene. Like I'm thinking like The Parent Trap almost. Like you could fit that
I
in
feel
there
like
somehow.
this is like perfect for a montage. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I originally gave it like a mediocre three score, like a in the lower threes. But after I'm listening to it now here, and we are kind of like vibing miniature, very miniature. Like we're not how I would picture it, but it's like I'm gonna have to give this at least a 3.6,
Okay.
which I feel like is respectable off your 3.8. Like I said
Yeah.
originally, I was a 3.4, but it's grown on me the more and more I listen to it. And I honestly, funny enough, too, the other night, I think it was Monday or Tuesday night, I put it on just because I was like, let me just start with a bonus. And Letty just instantly, dude, started
Oh
fucking
yeah,
dancing.
she
Just,
liked it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
she liked it a lot.
Okay.
So,
Nice, dude. See, I like even the baby is like, yeah, I want to
she's
dance
like,
to this a little bit.
I give this a 3.8.
All right.
I sided with Shane.
Hell yeah. She got the right idea. Good on her. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, and like you said, I don't think it's like a song to take like terribly seriously, but like, yeah, just feel the vibe.
Then again, maybe his whole album is like a little bit like
Sure.
that. It's hard to say.
Yeah. So anyway, for next week's album, I'm gonna leave this up to you.
Uh
I'm gonna give you a choice between 2 years. And you pick which year and that'll decide the album. 2001 or 2006?
Let's go. Old George W. Let's go 2001.
I was gonna say George W would be either one of those years, but okay.
What was the other one? 06?
Yeah, he was still president in '06. Obama became president in 2008.
08?
Yeah, he got elected in 2008.
Okay.
So, all right.
That math checks out.
So 2001. So we will do.
Early George W.
Is This It by The Strokes?
I'm not gonna lie. When I got in your car the night and we went to the Edison,
Mm-hmm.
the Strokes was on the CD. That's what we were not on the CD, but on the display.
Sure.
I don't know if it was that album or not.
It wasn't. No, that was their. That was like a 2011 album, I think.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out like which album did I want to pick by them. It was a toss up between like I kind of gave everything like a little like skim through, and I just happened to be on.
Is there anything on it sad? Is there any sad songs on it?
Off of Is This It?
Mm-hmm. Because my bonus is kind of a sad song.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've listened to Is This It all the way through, but it's a banger of an album. Like it.
Okay.
Like,
I'm interested because I haven't really dived into the Strokes a lot, and I know you like them
Yeah.
quite a bit. So
yeah, there was. I mean, I was big on them back in like
Yeah.
I would say like 2017 to
okay,
20.
that's what I was thinking, like 2018, 2019. But
Yeah, 2017 to like 2019, I was huge.
yeah,
on
because I
them.
remember you playing them a lot. That was a little bit after your Interpol phase, I feel like. But
No, it was right after. Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's what I was. And then like the Killers was in there too.
Well, not only that, Interpol and the Strokes are both from New York, so there you go.
New York, New York.
Yeah, how about that? So yes, that is correct. It was like Interpol was like 2016, then like 2017. I was like, oh, Strokes kind of fuck. So yeah. So what's
Bonus next week. We have Alone Again by Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Alone Again? Okay, awesome. I am adding it to my list now. Sweet.
All right. Well, that concludes this week's episode of The Working Hour. And until next time, friends.
Don't work too hard now.